If there's a genre of movie that I'm not incredibly well versed in, it's most of them. But one in particular is probably the martial arts film. The art of the martial arts film is not lost on me. I understand why they're fun, but I have not really seen any, unless you count Kung Pao. Anyway, the most, well, arguably the most popular, maybe up there with Bruce Lee, martial art movie star is, of course, Jackie Chan. Everyone knows who Jackie Chan is. And we were brought this year a very un-Jackie Chan-like movie. That would be The Foreigner. It's an action thriller starring Jackie Chan and Pierce Brosnan. And it was very strange for the fact that it had Jackie Chan not playing a almost goofy, borderline stereotypical martial artist doing ridiculous fight scenes the entire time. Instead, this was broken Jackie Chan. This was dead inside, has lost everything, and has no more reason to live Jackie Chan. This was depressing Jackie Chan. Something that I definitely have not seen him in. Maybe he's had roles like that in the past, but not from what I can think of. Jackie Chan was like this bitter, vengeful vessel for the action scenes. That was what he was in this movie. He was like, we need an action scene. Jackie Chan, you're in this movie, get in there. And that was it. This movie was really more Pierce Brosnan's story. Or whatever his name in the movie was, Liam something. He had most of the actual on-screen speaking time, as you would expect.
Which is weird, because the movie starts with Jackie Chan, like a solid 30 minutes going deep into his story and stuff. And then all of a sudden you meet Pierce Brosnan, and then it's like, okay, Jackie Chan just pops in and out from there.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Jackie Chan's on the poster. He's like the top build on IMDb. He's the number one name that pops up. And then Pierce Brosnan comes up and absolutely steals the show from underneath him. The Foreigner, it's one of those movies where you almost wish that it had less plot, because it crams so much plot and backstory and fictional characters and ties to other characters into a so long amount of time that you kind of lose everything and kind of lose track of what's going on. There's all these fictional factions and characters and other things that tie to each other. It's like, oh, this guy backstabbed this guy, and this person is related to this army, and this goes over here, and you're like, can I just see Jackie Chan punch more people? It's like, not to say it was bad. I will in no way try to say that it was bad. It was a quite decent movie. Very solid. But it was one of those things where it may have even benefited from being a little bit less thriller and a little bit more action. Or at least pick one.
Both of us, without knowing it, thought that it reminded us of The Accountant.
Yes. Starring the greatest actor of all time, Ben Affleck. Very similar movie in the fact that there were a lot of action scenes mixed on with the plot of intrigue, where the intrigue kind of drops off and gets lost because the plot isn't 100% sure what it wants to do with it. And both of them very much fit the mold of movies that are definitely not bad by any stretch of the imagination, but they're just missing that certain something from being a great. Neither of the movies were great. They were both good action thrillers, The Accountant and The Foreigner. But this is more about The Foreigner, so I'm going to try to keep a little bit more on that. General plot is Jackie Chan owns a Chinese restaurant in the UK. Go figure, Chinese actor owns a Chinese restaurant. Can't make that up. And he's driving his daughter to go and get her prom dress, I believe it was. Probably prom, something like that. So. She wanted some fancy dress from this fancy fashion place. And this big explosion goes off.
Fancy store.
Yeah. I guess store is the proper term. Big explosion goes off in a bank next door. She dies. A bunch of other people die.
That's like the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, that's how it starts. She dies. Like, she's not even the target. Jackie Chan's not the target. His daughter is not the target. Neither of them really have anything to do with the plot at all. which is kind of interesting.
She's just collateral damage.
Exactly.
In the bomb.
Exactly. So most of Jackie Chan's role is more of a broken, grieving father trying to figure out who did this so he can go get his just revenge. It's a revenge story more than anything else. That's where Pierce Brosnan comes in. He's some kind of high-ranking Irish official who is in cahoots with the British government and is obviously doing stuff with the Irish government, as well as having ties to the
IRA.
The IRA, yes, the Irish Resistance Army or something like that, whatever it's called. So he's this politician who's also with this kind of underground army that's trying to, I'm assuming, like, secede from Britain to make Ireland its own country and everything. And that's kind of where he pulls in. So, of course, he's this big TV face of everything. He's not like a public IRA rep at this point. He's just more of a politician doing what he's doing.
So Jackie Chan sees him on TV talking about the bombings and stuff, because there's more happen after that first one. It's like a series of bombs.
Exactly.
And he sees him on TV talking about it, so he finds out his phone number. He goes to his office, threatens him a little.
And it just spirals from there. Like, half the movie is literally Jackie Chan's character showing Pierce Brosnan's character, I know way more than you think. Tell me what I need to know.
I can kill you in a million ways.
Exactly. And that was fun to watch, just seeing the various absurd ways that he gets to him and everything. And, of course, it all culminates, and you already know how it ends. You don't know every facet of how it ends, but let's face it, we all know how the story ends.
No. No, they don't.
You don't know the twists that lead up to it or the characters that wind up in the end, but you'll get the idea.
So pretty much Jackie Chan spends all the rest of the movie telling Pierce Brosnan to give him the names. Give me the names.
Names. Over and over.
Threats. Tries to kill... Well, actually, he doesn't kill any of his people or anything, but he just proves that he can kill any of them at any time, whenever he wants.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. He's like a war veteran from the Special Forces, lost half his family when he was fleeing the country and everything. So the dude's already, like, pre-broken and pre-badassified.
Yeah, he had three daughters. His wife died in childbirth with the last one, I think. Right?
Yep.
The two other daughters got separated from him and raped and killed and stuff when he was getting away from wherever, Vietnam or something.
Something like that.
Yeah. So he only had this one daughter left, and then she died, so now his whole world is over.
Yep. Very, very sad. Very sad. But honestly, a lot of his sequences, just with trying to get to Brosnan and get the names, remind me a lot of First Blood, the first Rambo movie. Not like the more absurd parts when he's like dual-wielding machine guns and like dropping hundreds of people, but more like the kind of outside special forces guerrilla tactics, hiding behind things, setting up traps and stuff. It was fun to watch. Nothing too challenging to the mind, but it doesn't have to be. It absolutely doesn't have to be. It did its goal just fine. The supporting actors were fine. No roles that I could really say were individually that amazing. However, there's a certain actor, you already know where I'm going with this, who I love, and I've only seen in one other thing. Michael, I don't even remember his last name, but you all know him as Roose Bolton from Game of Thrones. He was in this as kind of like Pierce Brosnan's number one guy, his right-hand man, his main bodyguard, whatever. And he, gosh, just like in Game of Thrones, he was awesome. Just not even a huge role, nothing of really any consequence. Just the way he carries himself on screen is great, and I would love to see more of him in other things, because the dude, he just has something. He has something. He's just got an intensity to him that I can really appreciate. Any characters that gripped you one way or another?
No, not really. It was just a movie you watch, and you watch it
like a popcorn flick with an added plot of intrigue, which again I thought got kind of lost at some points, or maybe I'm just slow and couldn't keep up.
So yeah, some of it was confusing when they were talking all this political stuff.
Yeah,
And this guy, and then there's this guy, and then this guy, and this one, and
it suffers.
he's doing this.
It
and-
suffers the problem of like mentioning a character's name, bringing them up once, not bringing them up at all for the next like 40 minutes, and then they bring the name up again like 40 minutes from then, and you're like, they didn't even show this character on screen. Who the hell are they talking about? So
I got lost in some of the scenes because I was listening to Pierce Brosnan's accent, and I was just like, oh, I was just fascinated. So I didn't hear any of what they were saying, pretty much.
I was too busy listening to his voice to know what he was saying.
Yeah, I was listening to his accent. I was like, oh
man.
Irish.
Yeah, he was definitely Irish. But lots of Irish accents, so if you're like Minnie and have troubles understanding Irish accents, there are no subtitles, so you may have issues with that, like so many did with Train Spotting.
Yeah.
So,
Thick accents.
yeah.
Cannot watch without subtitles.
So it was mostly Irish characters.
But you
Jackie
could
Chan.
understand all of them.
Well, yeah. There were no lines that got so lost on you to where you had no idea what was going on. They were all pretty well spoken the entire time, so no major issues there. All in all, yeah, again, this is a solid movie. Decent.
It was alright just to go and see a movie.
Yeah, worth seeing. Nothing that I regretted spending my time on, which is good. Action scenes were nice. Jackie Chan, what can I say? The dude is how old, and he's still like 10 times more limber than I am right now. Yeah, still doing his sliding down poles and flipping through windows and falling down, toppling downstairs.
He had a little bit of that in the movie.
Yeah.
He had like one scene where he was all,
Yeah,
I can beat you up.
there was not a ton of that. There was not a lot of martial arts action, so if that's what you were kind of looking for when you saw that this was a Jackie Chan movie, don't expect that. Because that's not really what this is. It's not a martial arts flick. It just happens to star one of the all-time greatest martial arts actors ever in a role unlike anything he's done before. Which I can appreciate. And if nothing else, it makes the movie a unique little spot in movie history just for having him play that kind of role.
Yep. Yeah, that's what you said.
There's your deep analysis. Yeah, that's general thoughts on The Foreigner. That's about what I've got on it.
About a 7.5, I'd say. It was alright.
7. Yeah, 7 out of 10.
Ow! She stabbed me.
Of course she did. Yeah, 7 out of 10. Good movie. Not a great movie. Perfectly acceptable movie.
I wouldn't watch it again for probably like a few years until I'd forgotten everything that happened.
Wow, and you gave it a 7.5? That's generous for being like, I'm not going to watch it again for years.
That's me.
Okay, well, remember, everything she rates is going to be either 7.5 or 8.5.
That's not true.
Psycho cat! Anyway, yeah, those are our thoughts on The Foreigner. Could have had more, but we ran out of brain space. Have yourself a great night.